Hi everyone, this is a daily forecast on Eurodollar. Today is Thursday, November 25th. This video is brought to you by Finteria Markets. Please visit our website for more information about our company. On our website, you can find many interesting tools and services, educational materials, and online courses. Also, all information on the trading conditions. We offer one of the best spreads in the Forex market, and our spread on Eurodollar is below 0.1 pip most of the time. So let's start our analysis. I'm going to select the service, which is called Currency Strength. This is my favorite tool because it allows you to filter out all the noise and understand what is happening in the markets. So currency strength is based on currency indices. Each currency index is compared against a basket of 8 major currencies. You can also see currency indices in the MT5 platform. So open an account and download our MT5 platform, and you will be able to analyze currency indices in real time. So here in this tool, you can easily compare currency indices with each other and understand which indices are the strongest and the weakest. So first of all, let's start with the last 24 hours. We can see that Canadian dollar is the strongest currency. This is still due to rising oil prices. The US dollar is the second strongest currency. We saw an impressive growth during the European session and also in the beginning of the American session. But later, during the Asian session, the US dollar was a bit softer. And the weakest currency was the New Zealand dollar. So still a lot of disappointment in the markets after the rate decision by the Reserve Bank of New Zealand. And speaking of euro dollar, euro is very much stable. You can see it didn't move much. Movements on euro dollar are occurring mainly due to the stronger US dollar. So let's also switch to 1 week. So it's based on 5 last trading days. Here we can see that the US dollar is the strongest currency. It gained almost 1%. The New Zealand dollar is the weakest currency, falling over 1%. Still, over the long term, I think that New Zealand dollar is going to be a strong currency. If we will look at the economic projections of the central bank, we'll see that they actually signaled higher interest rates in the future and also higher inflation. So overall, I would say that the economy in New Zealand is very strong. This is more like a current situation, the current momentum and current sentiment, which is very negative. But overall, I think that the New Zealand dollar is going to gain more in the coming years. And probably it's going to be one of the strongest currencies in 2022. So speaking of euro dollar, once again, euro is very stable. Movements are happening because of the stronger dollar. So let's talk about the economic calendar. Agenda was full of data yesterday. So we had GDP. This was the second estimation. So usually I don't pay a lot of attention to the second estimate. Only the first estimation is important. The second one is less relevant because it's kind of outdated. It's old news. We also had durable good orders. This is usually very volatile indicator. So the headline number was negative, but the core value was quite okay. Unemployment claims, they came below 200,000. This is really impressive. We never had such a strong job market. And usually the values below 300 are very strong, but this time we got 200,000. I don't know if this is more like seasonal effect, but this is very, very impressive. And also, I don't see the details in Forex Factory calendar, so I'm going to switch to trading economics. I would like to show you the preferred measure of inflation used by Fed. This is a PCE price index. So it's very frequently used by Fed in different conference calls and different charts that they use. So I wanted to show you there's an impressive acceleration of inflation. The expected value of inflation was 4.4%. It came at 5%. So this is the highest value indicates. And also we can see a really impressive acceleration. So in September, we had The headline number was 4.4 and the core inflation was 3.6. So this time we got 5 and 4.1. So in August, this was 4.3 and 3.6. So really an impressive growth of inflation over just a really short period of time. So let's get back to the economic calendar. Another important piece of data is the personal spending. So spending constitutes 70% of the US economy, and the increase was very impressive at 1.3%. This is really huge in my opinion. So just over the months, the spending has increased by more than 1%. So lots of positive news for the US dollar. At the same time, I would like to pay attention to another headline, which in my opinion is very bullish, very hawkish for the US dollar. So I'm currently paying a lot of attention to what Fed's members are saying and FOMC members are saying as well. In my opinion, we may see some change of rhetoric from Fed's members. And this is what is happening right now. Next week, we will have a conference call with Jerome Powell. It's going to be on November 30. He's going to give his speech in the banking committee, as far as I remember. So in my opinion, he also may sound more hawkish, but already right now we see that many members of Fed are getting more and more hawkish. For example, Daly, she's a president of San Francisco Federal Reserve Bank, and she's one of the most dovish members. And she's saying that she's open to accelerating pace of bond taper. In my opinion, this is very hawkish. This news is more hawkish than the data we got yesterday. So lots of positive data. In my opinion, analyzing fundamentals are very important. So, you know, when you just look at technical analysis, this is just one-dimensional analysis. You really need to involve a lot of different areas, a lot of different layers of analysis, including fundamental analysis, market sentiment. This is all very important. And in my opinion, analyzing fundamentals helps you to understand the market expectations, understand the timing, understand the sentiment of the market. So what is happening right now? We have lots of positive data in the market. We have hawkish comments from the Fed members. And at the same time, I would say that the price action behind the US dollar was actually very shy, I would say, not really impressive. Of course, we dipped lower. We reached a very important support level. I was mentioning this before, that this is a target for me, 111.80, 111.70. We reached the level 111.85, and of course here euro dollar starts to look really overbought. But look at the price action. You know, there's lots of hesitation in the price. Before, we had always strong impulses before, but this time even the impulse was with lots of I would say confusion and lots of rebounds. And if you will have a look at the candles, you see that there are really long tails, and finally we see that the price doesn't really move much lower. Still, I would say yes, euro dollar is bearish in general. I'm still very bullish on dollar, but I think that shorting from the current levels can be very dangerous. In my opinion, the market is just too oversold. This trend is probably overcrowded. Just buying dollars, it just makes a lot of sense in my opinion. And this is what makes this trade potentially a bad trade. So that's why I think it's better to wait for a correction to wait for a depth of the market, and then consider opening new positions in the direction of the trend. So the question where we need to consider short positions. So here we have a few kind of channels or trending lines. So one potential area is right here, 112.40. Please also note that the markets are closed today in the US. Some of the markets are still open, like the bond market is trading partially. Futures market is also partially open, but there's going to be no major movements happening today. In my opinion, the market will be calm, so I don't recommend any positions today. But overall, just speaking of the next opportunities, I would expect to have some correction and to consider short positions from those levels. So where we can actually look for short opportunities. Here I have this green channel and also have this trend line. This trend line is not perfect because first of all, we had this line and then we switched to this one, and it's very subjective. You can draw it in a very different ways, but this is one of the ways how you can draw. And at the same time, there is this level 112.60, which in my opinion is also quite important. It's actually seen in the markets. We had multiple touches here and here, and then approached from below, tested multiple times. So I'm not sure that you can see it. So let me show you here. Attempt another multiple touches here and here, and once again here. So this level for me seems to be more sensitive. In my opinion, the market is going to retest this level, and I think that still this trend is now overcrowded. So in my opinion, what is going to happen? Probably there's going to be some stop loss hunting, and we can potentially break this level. We can break and move for another 30-40 pips or something like that. In my opinion, I would rather wait for better trading opportunities from approximately this area, which is slightly below 113.50. This area, for my opinion, is just much more safer to consider shorts. First of all, here there's a much stronger level, 114.30. So if we can place stop losses above 114.30, that would be much safer. And from this area, we can consider new shorts. Of course, timing is going to be very important, and there can be many market moving events, but I would really like to see this kind of a deeper correction from a very strong level I discussed before, 111.80. So here I would like to see some correction till 113.50 approximately, and from those levels I would consider opening new short positions in the direction of the trend. So that's my vision of the markets. I hope this video was useful for your trading. If you would like to get more videos like this one, please leave a short comment below and give us your thumb ups. Thank you for watching, and I wish you a nice day and happy Thanksgiving.